Hi, Patrick Marlowe here. Played some hockey, got inducted to a couple Hall of Fames and own a couple records. You're watching Bay Area Sports Wrap.
Yeah, love that we stuck with it. Love we got the 2 points. Power play stepped up big there at the end.
One of the things that was noticeable was puck management seemed a lot just crisper today. What did you think of that? Was that a big message going into tonight?
Yeah, it's been the whole series. I thought we executed pretty well. I liked our start. I thought our first period was strong, and then I thought some penalties both ways, and got a little choppy in the second, and then I thought we pushed there at the end.
And I talk about that Pavel Regenda, how he's led the way in terms of the physicality just since he has arrived from San Diego.
Yeah, he had one shift where he had those 2 big hits, but more of puck protection, going in first for loose pucks type of physicality that he's shown. He's willing to go to the net front, get inside. He's obviously the power play net front guy, so has done a lot of good things from a physical standpoint there.
What was the message the last couple of days, with how everything kind of was not going your way on Friday, to get to today in that first period, which I agree is maybe the best period single period we've seen maybe in a month at home. And then how do you take it to Colorado?
Yeah, I think it's important that we take a look at it and pull out the positives, and I think the positives, what we'll find is that we played tight. When they did have the puck, we played tight. We played up in their face, turned some pucks over quickly, went right back at them, spent some time in the OZ, and that's kind of the plan all the time. And obviously it's a game, right? There's 2 teams out there, and it's going to go. You got to kind of take your punches, give your punches, and I love that we kind of stuck with it there all the way to the end.
How do you like Ascarov's play, especially later in the second?
He's great. He won us the game.
So, Coach, being that it was a defensive struggle throughout the game, what were your expectations in overtime? And then did you ever think in the back of your mind maybe a shootout would be apparent?
No, I don't think so. I think we knew they had the power play there, and we had to take advantage of it.
What do you thought of White's play up to this point, coming up with big assists?
Yeah, he's been great. I think he's leading our team in points in the power play, and in the playoffs, and stepped up big again on that last goal. He won the faceoff.
The lineup decision to put Musty in, can you talk about that, and what do you think of his play tonight?
Yeah, I think he's an important part of our organization, and wanted to expose him to a playoff game, playoff style atmosphere. I thought he responded really well. Used his size, has an ability to finish, which was the thinking behind putting him in, and I thought he handled it really well.
And also too, there was a Dewar in for Cardwell. What was the thinking there, and what did you think of Walker's game?
I thought Walker was really good. I thought he took care of the puck, put it behind him, willing to go in and touch it first, and then extend some plays in the offensive zone. I thought he was really good.
Cardy's healthy?
Yep.
So today was physical like it was Friday, but different physical. Can you kind of explain what you guys are trying to do differently to change how the outcome was coming?
Well, we wanted to stay out of the box, obviously. We weren't totally able to do that, but, I think when we talk about physicality, there's kind of, finishing your checks and that sort of thing, and then there's also getting inside of the net front, being hard on loose pucks, willing to go in first for loose pucks. That's more the kind of physicality that we need to bring more consistently.
What kind of confidence builder can it be? Obviously, you get the win, but the power play getting it done, and also in overtime where I'm sure the message was, this is our moment, and they took advantage of it out there in 27 seconds in. Yeah,
and I thought we had a couple of looks earlier in the game, but what we talked about before overtime was the power play has a chance to be the hero, and they pulled through. It was good to see.
And then what was it like once it goes through? The crowd kind of goes berserk. First playoff win here at Tech CU.
Yeah, it was great. The atmosphere was great all night. I think the guys fed off it.
Actually, about Regenda's physicality, but also that goal, right? Just how important was that just for the momentum? Because once you're at that point, and you guys have been frustrated on the power play quite a bit. There's just the momentum. How important was that?
Yeah, it was. It was a time in the game where we needed a little jump. Like I said, I thought first period was good, and then the penalties kind of sucked our momentum out a little bit both ways. And then so for him to step up and reestablish some momentum and get the crowd back into it was good.
So Andrew's not been on the ice, but he's been around. What has he done to help reinforce what you as the coaching staff are trying to tell the guys? Yeah,
he's an extension of us, and obviously he has experience in the playoffs and knows how to go on long playoff runs. So, really valuable resource for us.
Any chance of him or Borlo
in the Colorado series coming up? Or the series in Colorado, sorry.
Yep, there's a possibility. Yep, we're going to kind of readdress things in the morning. There's a possibility, though.
Are they both going to travel to Colorado?
That's what we got to talk about in the morning.
And so, Coach, which game do you prefer? Where the defense is really showing their wares, or more of goals scored by your team?
Defense. I think that's a tighter game. I think I like lower event hockey. It's kind of more of a playoff style game.
Good.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Vernon, Miss California. Please like and subscribe to Bay Area Sports Wrap YouTube channel.